to supporting libraries and museums across all 50 states. I worked on Save America's Treasures. This is a grant program to protect our nation's most at-risk cultural treasures, historic buildings, sacred archives, endangered community collections. I saw firsthand how this program made it possible to restore a civil rights archive in Alabama, preserve indigenous language collections in the Southwest, and keep an iconic World War II submarine afloat. But now, much of that work is halted, not by budget concerns, not by performance issues, but because of an executive order and DOJ. DOJ actually showed up at our agency with armed guards to a museum and library agency. Our director was then replaced by a Trump appointee who is a political operative currently serving as the Deputy Secretary of Labor. No qualifications in museums, no qualifications in libraries, no interest in our agency. The only directive this director had is to dismantle the agency. Career staff, many have devoted decades to public service, were fired without cause, without notice, without process, including myself, with grants terminated arbitrarily, and it just left projects in limbo, and it was devastating, not just to us, but to all of the communities and museums and libraries that we were serving. And now, with the proposed federal budget, IMLS is slated for complete elimination, along with the National Endowment for the Humanities and the National Endowment for the Arts. And just to be clear, this is not about cutting waste. The IMLS budget is less than 0.005% of the federal budget. That's 0.005%. But with that, IMLS funds every state library, everyone in every state, including they have funded the Eastern Shore Public Library, our library. They provide access to underserved communities and make sure that small museums keep their doors open. And libraries and museums, they're not luxuries, they're lifelines, especially for rural and underserved communities. Our public libraries offer more than just books. They provide access to translation services, internet, job training, reading programs. All of those things are part of our libraries. And as far as museums go, the museums here on the Eastern Shore have been supported by Virginia Humanities, who receives most of their funding for those programs from the National Endowment for the Humanities. So all of these organizations have touched this community. So what can we do about it? So reach out to your elected officials, demand continued funding for IMLS, NEH, NEA. Let them know how much this matters to you, that these agencies matter, that these stories and our history matters. And if you can, the other thing you can do is support your local museums and libraries. Right now, they're going to need our help. Show up at an event, donate if you can, volunteer. They've been struggling for years, and they really need our support now more than ever. So basically, without humanities, without history, stories, music, art, ideas, what are we even fighting for? So thank you very much. Keep fighting, not for kings, but for communities.
Melinda, what do you think they need to do for you?